Good afternoon and welcome into Farmers National Bank Field here at the Cavelli Sports Complex on the campus of Youngstown State University. I'm Anthony Romo, joined by my partner Jake Silak. Jake, we had a little bit of a delay, a little bit of a storm came through here in Youngstown, but we're now ready for the Mid-American Conference season opener between Youngstown State and Robert Morris. This is a rematch of last year's Mid-American Conference semifinals, and these two teams not separated by too much. We're definitely in store for a very good game today. These two teams have had some slow starts to the season. They've played some tough competition, but the real season starts today.
It does. Maction. You know how it always, you know the saying, Maction. We are ready, like you said, for conference play. YSU, Robert Morris, again, having their stretches so far of the season, some light, some dark. But when it's all said and done, conference play matters the most. And YSU and Robert Morris have an opportunity to get off to a good start here.
Yeah, the team's finally going to head out onto the field. If you were tuned in onto the live stream when we were supposed to start at 1 o'clock, it got bad, and it got bad quick. We had soccer goals on the field. The lacrosse nets were up the hill by the street. Benches were flipped. There were cups everywhere, lacrosse balls everywhere. But we got everything situated. And after a very memorable last hour and a half, we're finally ready to go. We'll meet today's starters first for the visiting Robert Morris Colonials. In net, number 2, Jamie Keller. And then in the field, number 1, Haley Moshe. Number 3, Kelsey Nelson. Number 4, Jenna Irwin. Number 5, Jordan Anderson. Number 8, Julia Cotterwas. Number 10, Colleen Tift. Number 14, Mackenzie Bell. Number 15, Lily Haddon. So we're about ready for our opening draw today. We'll meet the rest of the starters after. Anderson, Calandra Ryan, and Youngstown State will get the first possession here today. To round out the starting lineup for Robert Morris, they have number 20, Abby Elliott, number 31, Kathleen Kelly, and number 32, Chelsea Coleman. Penguins with first possession, and that's a great start for the home team here today in Youngstown State. Robert Morris under head coach Katrina Silva has been really good at making opponents pay for their mistakes. So for Youngstown State to get possession, you want to have a good long possession here to start it out. They're already in Colonial territory. You definitely want to draw first blood on your home field.
Yeah, and YSU struggled so far this year to really get ahead of teams and keep those leads. So YSU, the game plan today, as it always is, clearly, but the game plan today is to get off to a hot start and not fall behind the 8 ball too early in this game.
Penguins moving it around the perimeter. It is still really windy here in Youngstown, even after the storm. So it'll be interesting to see if how the offenses move the ball around. Allie Korn driving inside, and we're going to have a foul called on the Robert Morris defense. That's going to give the Penguins a good look here on their first possession. Korn's going to be set up right to the left of the goal. 14:19 to go here in our first quarter. Korn will pass it off over to Allie Garrett. She'll drive inside. Robert Morris collapses right on Garrett. They force the turnover, and the Colonials are coming the other way with it. That's Chelsea Coleman who helped jar it loose. Now let's meet the starters today for Youngstown State as the Penguins get an early yellow card. Erin Clark will have to take a quick 2-minute break in the penalty box. Starters today for Youngstown State, number 88, Michaela Starenko is in goal. And then in the field, number 1, Tristan Chang. Number 2, Skylar Weber. Number 3, Eris Lindsay. Number 5, Abby Yesko. Number 10, Erin Clark. Number 11, Jordan Miller. Number 16, Jocelyn Fike. Number 17, Alexa Byer. Number 19, Kayla Stecker. Number 22, Natalie Calandra Ryan. And number 27, Allie Corin. Still getting ready to get everything situated up on the scoreboard. This is the first outdoor home game of the 2023 campaign for Youngstown State. Played their first 5 home games indoors in the Watson and Tressel training site. And we're finally outdoors here at Farmers National Bank Field, Jake. Feels a little bit better when you're playing lacrosse outside.
Absolutely, and we even have a much better angle at it today, finally, not looking through a net.
Yeah.
So love the Watts. It's a great facility, but man, is it good to be back outside.
That was a good Knee save by Michaela Starenko. Robert Morris will keep possession. They're driving inside. An even better look. That one's jarred away again, but we're going to have a foul inside, and we're going to have a free position opportunity here for Robert Morris. So they're going to look to get on the board. It looks like it'll be Colleen Tift with the chance here. Tift. If there's anyone that loves playing against Youngstown State, it's Colleen Tift. She'll net the first goal of the day. Tift last season against the Penguins had a season-high 4 goals in each game last season against Youngstown State. She knows how to play against this Penguins team well, and she'll net the first goal for Robert Morris right there.
And there you go. Like you said, Anthony, finding a way to start off early. We're going to see it again here. Free position angle finds the bottom of the net. And just like that, Robert Morris takes a 1-0 lead here early in Youngstown.
So we'll head back to midfield for the draw. Tiff, that's her 11th goal on the season. She's picking up right where she left off. She had 2 goals in Robert Morris's game on Sunday against UC Davis. That was a 17-10 defeat. The Colonials do control the draw, and Tift does have it once again. Both teams coming into today with 2 wins on the season. Youngstown State 7 losses. They're 2-7. Robert Morris has played 1 less game than YSU so far. They are 2-6. With it is Chelsea Coleman. She'll pass it off. Youngstown State's going to have a great defensive performance today against the Colonials. They like to drain out the clock with long possessions. They don't score as many goals per game as YSU, but they don't give up as many either. But they're starting off red hot here today. Their 2nd goal already. We're just 2 full minutes into our first quarter. We'll take another look right here.
Ball finds the bottom of the net again in the exact same spot that Colleen Tift just found a few possessions ago. So far, Robert Morris is doing a good job of picking out the weaknesses, I should say, in the defense of the Penguins. And like you said, Anthony, they take an early 2-0 lead. And we just talked about YSU getting behind the 8 ball early in some of these games. And so far, Robert Morris, 2-0 early. YSU finds themselves behind the 8 ball early.
That was Julia Cotterwas with the goal right there. She is another player that played exceptionally well against Youngstown State last season. In the 3 games the 2 teams played, she had 7 goals and 6 assists, so 13 total points combined in those 3 games. We have a little Robert Morris fan section down below to our left. Youngstown State fans on the right. Like we said, these schools separated by about 45 minutes to an hour apart. So this is one of those cooler matchups in the MAC where you're going to get these schools that'll probably bring some fans. And it's like that. A lot of schools in Northeast Ohio, Western PA are in the MAC. You have Kent State, you have Akron, Youngstown State, of course. And then Robert Morris is very close as well.
Yeah, and it's definitely cool to see. It's definitely cool to see the dynamic that Ohio and some northern colleges and high schools play when it comes to lacrosse, being that lacrosse isn't really too big around here growing up as opposed to the East Coast.
Colleen Tift with it. She's trying to drive her way inside. She'll pass it across the perimeter, spinning her way in. Now passing it off was Cotterwas. Good look, and another goal for the Colonials. This time it's Kelsey Nelson. Great ball movement from Robert Morris, and they jump out to an early 3-0 lead here on the road. We'll take another look right here. Great ball movement all the way around, and it ends with a goal. Youngstown State will be forced to call their first timeout very quickly. Head coach Hallie Katulak will elect to take it with 11:53 left here in the first quarter. We'll stay right here. And for those who are new to this matchup, we'll give you a quick update of last season because these 2 teams played at the tail end of the regular season. And then in the tournament, again, Robert Morris, this is the 5th meeting all time between the 2 schools. RMU leads at 4-1. They've outscored YSU 41-29 here at Farmers National Bank Field. Youngstown State is 0-2 against the Colonials here at home. If you go back to last season, Youngstown State defeated Robert Morris on April 30th. It was the regular season finale. It was a 19-17 win for YSU, and that win right there clinched a share of the regular season Mid-American Conference title. And what a ride it was for Youngstown State to end last year's regular season. They started off not great to start the season, but boy, did they finish hot in the MAC, winning their last 6 regular season games to bring them into the tournament. And then the teams met again on May 5th, back-to-back games in the Mid-American Conference semifinals, where it was Robert Morris coming out on top by a score of 22-14. And just like here today, Robert Morris jumped out to an early 7-0 lead after the first quarter, and they also scored the first goal of the second quarter to make it 8-0, and it was just too steep of a hill for Youngstown State to overcome.
Yeah, and like we said earlier, and we'll continue to say it throughout the broadcast today, YSU's biggest problem so far this year in some of these games are just getting too far behind too early. YSU needs to step on the gas here, at least apply some defensive pressure, because right now Robert Morris just has whatever they want working on the offensive and defensive side of the ball.
3 early goals from the Colonials have given them a 3-0 lead. Colleen Tiff started off the scoring parade, and then Julia Cotterwas and Kelsey Nelson each added a goal. Cotterwas was credited with the assist on that last goal, so she's already up to 2 points. Someone who had 13 total, like we said, in the 3 matchups last season between these two teams. Back underway, Robert Morris did win the draw, or control the draw, I should say. They have the possession. Tift being defended by Eris Lindsay. Lindsay trying to keep her way out towards the Youngstown State net because the Colonials have used great ball movement to set up their attackers. Nice save by Starenko on the ground ball shot, and she'll get rid of it. Youngstown State will now push it the other way. Penguins came up empty in their first possession. They controlled the opening draw, drove it deep into Robert Morris territory, and then turned it over right in front of the net. Ball on the ground. Weber loses it. Chang trying to keep it in possession with the Penguins. Are still fighting for it. We're going to have a whistle blown and possession will go to Robert Morris. That'll be another Youngstown State turnover.
Right there, YSU 2-0 in the turnover category in Robert Morris's favor. Or 3-0, I should say, in favor of Robert Morris. Another thing that YSU has struggled with so far this season, a lot of turnovers to the opponents. And with that being said, you know, Robert Morris, kind of the plan of attack today is just play strong defense, strong ball movement, and find the weak points in YSU's defense.
Like I had mentioned earlier, under head coach Katrina Silva, especially here in the MAC, Robert Morris has done a great job taking advantage of miscues. They do it again right there. They add another goal, make that 4-0 Robert Morris with just over 5 minutes here into our first quarter. If you go back to 2021, the first year that the MAC had play, as that was another goal by Colleen Tift, Robert Morris had a clean slate in the conference. They went 10-0 in the MAC, 14-3 overall. There was no MAC tournament, so they got the automatic bid into the NCAA tournament before they lost to Notre Dame. But mentioning that season, Robert Morris led the entire NCAA, averaging over 26 ground balls per game. To put that in perspective, the Colonials are averaging 15 this season. Youngstown State's averaging 14. So if you go back to that number, you could tell Robert Morris did a great job when the ball was out of a stick, that there's a pretty good chance they were going to be the ones that came up with it.
Absolutely. Robert Morris, for as long as they've been in existence in the lacrosse program, have been known for their grittiness on the defensive side, grittiness on the offensive side, and just an overall grit program. So Robert Morris continuing that today, like we said.
This wind is really picking up again.
Yeah.
Penguins with possession. Now, I was saying earlier, you got to wonder, with how this wind is going, referee's coming over to talk real quick. I thought they were going to pull the players off the field. We have a stoppage in play.
They might be.
I think the net's moving, that's why.
Yeah, I think they're trying to figure out some way to kind of secure those nets in place.
As I was saying earlier, though, I can't get this sentence out because things keep interrupting me.
Right.
I was saying it. I wonder, with how the winds are so gusty here today, if that's going to play an impact. If that's going to play an impact on the passing, on the ball movement between the teams.
And we were down there earlier towards the end of this delay. And so many of these lacrosse balls were scattered everywhere. And, even just trying to throw them back, over to the sidelines, though you could tell the wind was going to affect it.
There's something going on under us. Someone's pointing at something above us. I don't know exactly what it is.
It's the
tarp above us.
Yeah.
Referee's hat just went flying. And this adds great things to talk about to the broadcast.
It definitely does.
It's just been one of those days. Back-to-back Saturdays here in Youngstown where we've just had crazy windstorms.
Yeah.
Last weekend, it was the number of our 3 counties in the viewing area here in the Youngstown area. There was like over 60,000 power outages. And I know after the storms that came through earlier, the early numbers were around 45, 50,000. It's just been a tough 2 weeks for weather. And I was wondering earlier on in the week if this game was going to be moved indoors to the Watts yet again. We tried to have our outdoor opener against Gardner-Webb back on March 14th, but the weather was so bad, it was so snowy, they pushed that indoors. And it looks like they brought some sandbags out to put on the side of the net to keep it sturdy.
Yeah, something out there. To put it into perspective for you while we just start up play here again, there's currently...
Good look inside Corn. The shot in the goal. Allie Corn coming right out of the break. She nets Youngstown State's first goal. That was great ball movement by the Penguins. Corn came out of nowhere as we take another look. She came from the backside. She was unmanned, and she scored.
Yeah, and honestly, that little delay might have really helped in YSU's favor. Robert Morris had all of the momentum going, and a sudden stop and play right there might have just given YSU the spark they needed. But as I was saying earlier, just for everyone that isn't from Youngstown or around the area, we currently, after that little storm, I think 38,000 power outages within the area.
We got ridiculous. Trash cans blowing behind the benches. So we're back at midfield. 4-1 our score. Allie Corrin with the goal. Aaron Clark credited with the assist. Anthony Romo, Jake Silak on the call here today. MAC opener for both Youngstown State and Robert Morris. These two teams held a share with Central Michigan of the Mid-American Conference regular season title a year ago. And then Central Michigan took down Robert Morris in the Mid-American Conference Tournament Championship game, which gave them a bid to the NCAA tournament. We have another stoppage in play. I think everyone's just struggling with the wind right now.
Hard to even hear the whistles out there.
.9:02 to go here in our first quarter. Luckily, we kept power, though. That's the biggest thing. Because then we wouldn't be able to bring you this broadcast if we didn't have power. We were one of the lucky ones. Foul called on the Penguins. It'll stay with Robert Morris. Mackenzie Bell trying to split the double team there for the Colonials. Robert Morris, high hopes coming into the 2023 season. They were picked to win the conference in the preseason poll. 4 first-place votes, as that pass is too high. We'll go back to Youngstown State.
Yeah, right there, Anthony. That really makes you wonder about the wind. If that
we can't tell from in here. Clark working with it on the right side. She'll pass it off to Allie Corrin. Now over to Allie Garrett. Youngstown State on a 2-game losing streak right now. Had a very tough game against Pitt earlier this week. It was a 13-9 loss, but I think that could have been a big momentum builder for Youngstown State. You did lose the game, but they gave an ACC opponent a very good matchup in Pitt. The Penguins held with it throughout the ball game. It was just too little, too late.
Yeah, and YSU in the last 2 to 3 games here have honestly had a lot of momentum to build on. even though they have been losses, they've had some bright spots, and they've had some good, what's the best word I want to say for it? They've had some very good trends in their last few games. So YSU just has to put it all together against an opponent and really see what that can do for you.
Free position chance here for Jordan Miller. As a couple bodies got tangled up. Gave Youngstown State this free position opportunity. Miller will drive in. She'll shoot. That one's saved. Good save by Jamie Keller. Keller, of course, regarded as one of the best, if not the best, goalkeeper in the Mid-American Conference. She was a 2022 MAC Goalkeeper of the Year. She was just one of many all-conference selections for Robert Morris last season. They returned 5 all-MAC performers from last season's team that won a share of the regular season title. Good ball movement inside. Ball's on the ground, but it'll stay in the stick of Kelsey Nelson. Good job recovering, and the Colonials will now pass it around the perimeter. 6:48 to go here in the first quarter. 4-1 Robert Morris on top of Youngstown State. The Colonials netted the first 4 goals today. Youngstown State, though, they did score the last goal. They're going to try to fight their way back here on their home field. Driving in with it is Coleman. Trying to get past Lindsay. Nice defense by Eris Lindsay. She'll push her out. Pass inside. We're going to have a foul called. It's going to be a turnover, I believe. Nope. It's going to be a yellow card. That one is given to Emma Hoffman. So she'll have to take a seat. Hoffman, who's started to see her playing time ramp up as of late. This is just her 6th appearance on the season, but she did get playing time against Pitt as well. So you'd like to see a lot of these freshmen on Youngstown State's roster start to get some more playing time as we have a beautiful shot and another goal for Robert Morris. That'll make it 5-1 Colonials. Playing a player up. They knew Youngstown State was a man down defensively, and they executed.
And that was beautiful execution at that. You'll see it right here. A little pump fake down to the bottom right-hand corner. Steranko kind of off balance, thought the shot was going to go high, and there's no saving that once you get off your feet, I should say, in that goalkeeper position. So Robert Morris doing such a good job so far of getting off to a start.
Kelsey Nelson with her 2nd goal of the day. It's her 6th on the season. Nelson, a grad student, one of the team captains for Robert Morris this season. The Colonials push their lead back out to 4 goals.
Now, whatever the coaches said in RMU's locker room over that little break before the game definitely worked, Anthony, definitely worked.
Like I had mentioned earlier, Robert Morris has always played good against Youngstown State on this field. 2 wins, goal differential 12 of 12 in the favor of Robert Morris. Now our draw possession will go to the Penguins. So Youngstown State's going to have to find a way to execute these opportunities when they're on offense. Loose ball. Possession goes back to the Colonials. That's another turnover for Youngstown State. It's already their 4th here in the first quarter. YSU's averaging 17 turnovers a game. That's a number that's definitely going to have to come down if they want a chance to compete in the MAC this season. I really think it's a conference that is wide open. Per se, you're going to have your Central Michigans. You're going to have your Robert Morrises. But, I mean, looking at it from top to bottom, Kent State could give the conference a run for their money. You have Eastern Michigan, who's only 1-7 right now, but they're new to the conference. So it's a team that no one is necessarily familiar with. They could open some eyes. You have Youngstown State as well, who returns basically everyone except their goalkeeper and Savannah Clark from last year's team. They also lost Lauren Ottensmeyer, who I should say was a pretty big loss. But you do return the majority of that team. Corin taking it inside. She's collided with. We're going to have a foul called. That'll give Allie Corrin a free position attempt, her second today.
And this is big for YSU here. You kind of need, you almost feel like you need to get something in the back of the net here for a little bit of momentum boost for YSU.
Corrin's going to be set up partially to the left of the net. She passed off her first attempt. She'll shoot this one, and she'll score. Nice job by Allie Corrin, electing to go to the bottom of the net, making it real hard for the goalkeeper and Keller to get her stick down there. Put it right between the wickets. Youngstown State gets their second goal.
And Corrin has been stepping up the last few games for YSU in a role that we were talking about the last time we were in Youngstown, which is that kind of X factor. YSU losing some of the better players from last year as far as goals are concerned. So finding that X factor for YSU is so important this year. Who is going to be the one to step up in the critical times this season for YSU? And so far, Corrin is doing a really good job of that.
And with how last season went for Youngstown State, you kind of just picture the team duplicating what last season was.
Absolutely.
But you got to remember that this team is still particularly young, and they have so many freshmen coming in. That's why down the line could be this team's better years, because you see the better teams in the conference that have very good depth. They can go to their bench, but still when you're Youngstown State going to your bench, you have a lot of players that are still trying to get their feet wet at the collegiate level. So it'll be definitely something interesting to see with this Youngstown State team. Hope that they can have some stability and don't lose too many players to the transfer portal and try to build off of what was a very good season a year ago. Approaching 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 5-2 our score, but Youngstown State looking to cut some more into the deficit. Erin Clark on the left side of the net. She'll pass it over to Corrin. It's been the Corrin and Clark show early on. Allie Corrin driving in. It's a very high stick right to the face of Clark. Looks like we're going to have a yellow card given to Robert Morris, and we do. So that'll set YSU up with another chance to add a goal and cut into this deficit. That one's given to Abby Elliott, that yellow card. So Corrin with a chance here to net her second goal. And you got to love the aggressiveness early on from Allie Corrin. She's trying to take control when Youngstown State's getting deep in RMU territory.
And that's what you need from some of your older players on the squad, your leaders on the squad. When it's all going bad, find a way to just make something happen. If you have to just do it yourself, do it yourself. Find a way to get some sort of momentum, and Corrin right now is looking to do that.
And she'll net. Nope, that one's saved. I thought she put it over Keller's stick. But a nice job by Jamie Keller. Staying collected in the net. I'm sure she's seen her fair share of shots in her day at Robert Morris. So the Colonials make YSU leave with another empty possession. But Robert Morris will turn it over once again. It'll go right back to YSU. We've seen some miscues early on from both ends. There's an offensive foul on the Colonials, which forced the turnover. Elliott still in the penalty box for 1 minute and 15 seconds, so Youngstown State will try to take advantage. A man up offensively with the Robert Morris defender being out of the game currently. Calandra Ryan with it. We're going to have another hip foul. So now Natalie Calandra Ryan. Surprising, that's the first time we've said her name since we started today. Calandra Ryan missed do it all for Youngstown State.
And has an opportunity here for a huge goal.
And she'll get it. Two-goal deficit now. Calandra Ryan with the goal. That is her 32nd now of the season. That'll cut the deficit yet again, Jake. You can feel the Penguins starting to get some momentum. The wheels are starting to turn offensively for YSU. And that is goal number 100 on the career for Natalie Calandra Ryan. So congrats to her on that. She's coming off a big performance against Pitt where she had 4 goals and an assist. And she'll keep that ball.
As she should.
As she should. Goal number 100 in the career for Kalandra Ryan. And I give the credit to you, Jake, for reminding me because I almost forgot. I mentioned it before we went on air.
I thought when you said that's her, when you were adding up the, oh man, the season total, I'm like, oh, this is great. He's going to spin right off into the 100.
Nope. But nonetheless, we got it out. 5-3 our score, 2:48 to go in our first quarter. Thanks for tuning in here today on the Youngstown State Penguins YouTube channel. Outdoor home opener today for Youngstown State. Kelsey Nelson already 2 goals. She gets it across midfield. Loses it for a second. Kalandra Ryan jarred it away, but Nelson did a good job of getting that one back. Quick pass, and the Colonials are in business. Driving in and shooting and scoring is Colleen Tift. Her 3rd goal already. She has a hat trick here in the first quarter. And Robert Morris, once they got possession off the draw, they wasted no time adding their 6th goal to the total.
Just finding the upper right corner of the net. Robert Morris, again, and I've said it before and I sound like a broken record, but they're just doing such a good job of exploiting the defense for YSU.
That's Tiff's 13th goal on the season. She just trails Chelsea Coleman by 1 goal for the team lead. Coleman with 14 goals so far this season. 2:15 to go in the first quarter. Just 33 seconds separating our last 2 goals. Back out to midfield would be Jordan Anderson and Natalie Kalandra Ryan on the draw. Both girls, the team leaders on their respective teams in draw controls this season. Clark kind of tosses that one into RMU territory, still fighting for it. And Robert Morris will end up getting possession. Draw control is given to Tift. So that's her 14th draw control on the season. And you look at Natalie Kalandra Ryan's numbers for YSU, it's pretty absurd. 61 draw controls already. Now 32 goals already this season through 9 games.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to really say other than she's pretty good. She's pretty good, Anthony. I mean, she's pretty good at the game.
Tift will back it out. She'll pass inside. The shot and the save by Steranko. Nice job by Michaela Steranko, who's starting her 10th game in goal this season. Steranko's moved into that starting role after having to sit behind 2 grad student transfers her first 2 seasons.
The Pittsburgh, PA native is very, very familiar with the colors of RMU.
That is true. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter, Youngstown State looking to cut into this deficit a little bit more before we reach the end of the first quarter. Kalandra Ryan with it. Youngstown State offense is pretty stagnant right now. Kalandra Ryan's going to have to do it herself. And she is collided with, loses her footing. No whistle blown, and possession will go to RMU. 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Can they tack on another goal? Youngstown State bringing some subs on, and the Penguins will get the ball back. Pass over to Molly Sheridan. She gets it across midfield. 13 seconds left in the first quarter. Sheridan over to Corin. What's the momentum? Allie Corin. She'll score right before the end of the first quarter. Great possession by YSU. Great ball movement. And Allie Corin gets her 2nd goal of the day.
YSU did a great job there, and I know they were moving pretty quick due to the clock, but they did a really good job of getting to the other end of the field.
My bad, that's Corin's 3rd goal. So she has a first quarter hat trick. My bad, I had it thought that Aaron Clark had a goal, but nope. Allie Corn with 3, Natalie Calandra-Ryan with 1. And the Penguins with 2 seconds to spare in the first quarter. They make it a 6-4 ball game.
Those turnovers are going to be so key for YSU today. RMU's defense is just so fundamentally sound. They need to find a way to get RMU off balance and behind the, I would say behind the 8 ball all the time, but it's the truth for RMU.
Back at midfield for our last draw here of the first quarter. It's a quarter that both teams have really struggled in so far this season. But we're going to have a very good game through the first 15 minutes. Robert Morris on top, 6-4. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have second quarter action here from Farmers National Bank Field.
Good one.
Yep. Nice. Beautiful. Nice job, Ella.
At Youngstown State University, your future is waiting for you, where value is not only defined by our cost, but in degrees and services. It's a place to live and a place to learn, where friendships are forged and professional connections build the foundation of your career. A place where education is everything and experience matters. We are Youngstown State University, and we are waiting for you.
It's always out there. The horizon. A reminder that our greatest goals are rarely attained. And as soon as you reach one, another emerges. But every day we rise and work harder, dig deeper, ask one more question, take one more shot in relentless pursuit of our horizon.
Welcome back. Second quarter, just about ready to begin here from Farmers National Bank Field here in the Covelli Sports Complex. Anthony Romo, Jake Silak back here on the call. It's a heavily contested first quarter. Robert Morris on top of Youngstown State, 6-4 through 15 minutes of play. Allie Corn, the leading scorer for YSU with 3 goals. Colleen Tift with 3 goals of her own for Robert Morris. We'll give you a quick game reset. 5 turnovers for the Penguins in the first quarter, 3 for Robert Morris, both teams with 5 draw controls. Michaela Starenko, 3 goals in the net for YSU, 2 saves for Jamie Keller for Robert Morris. Jake, if the next 30 minutes, or next 45 minutes, I should say, are just as entertaining as the first 15, we're definitely in store for a great Mid-American Conference game here today.
Absolutely. Nothing like a good game to start Maction, right? Nothing like it.
Yeah, conference opener for both these teams here today. Teams that have very high aspirations here in the 2023 season. Robert Morris is a team that's really trying to get their foot off here, going well in conference play. They really struggled coming out of the gate to begin the season. They lost their first 4 games, and then now they're 2-2 in their last 4. But getting off to that quick 0-4 start was tough. And, I mean, they played some tough teams. You open up the year against Ohio State, against Cincinnati, a team YSU played, and then you host Bucknell and UMBC. Wasn't the easiest start, but hopefully the Colonials kind of rode that storm, and they got some good experience heading now into the big stretch of the season.
Yeah, both squads really got a good look at some Big Ten opponents, but some big opponents that really showed what both YSU and RMU needed to work on.
As the Colonials add another goal right there, I believe Colleen Tift scores her 4th goal right there. And that'll make it 7-4 Robert Morris. Not even a full minute here into the second quarter. Yep, or actually Kelsey Nelson was credited with the goal.
Just finds her way right up the middle of that defense. YSU not really prepared, kind of back on their heels. And just like you said, another goal for our MU, 7-4 in favor of the blue.
That's Nelson's 3rd goal today. It's kind of crazy. She only had 4 goals on the season coming into today. She's almost tied that mark right here. Back to midfield for the draw. Wind's starting to pick back up again. We had some sunshine when we started after the storms, but now the clouds have come back over Farmers National Bank Field. We're luckily under a roof right now. We got some heat in here. But outdoors, the sun was helping you a little bit, but with this temperature rapidly falling, I know these players got to be freezing out here.
Yeah, and I don't think any of these teams came here expecting this weather. It looked like it was going to be mid-60s and some sun today.
Robert Morris with possession yet again. Chelsea Coleman, who gets collided with by Mia Stahl. Possession will stay with Robert Morris. Stahl, a freshman, she's seen a lot of action this season. This is her 8th appearance in 9 games. Youngstown State interim head coach Hallie Katulak just trying to find different players to put in different spots and see what the best lineup can be for this team. Nice save there by Michaela Starenko. That's her 4th save today. Penguins will get possession back. Like we mentioned, YSU fell to Pitt 13-9. Their last game on Tuesday. The Penguins scored the last 4 goals of the game after trailing 13-5. Looking at a goal right here is Youngstown State trailing 7-4. Corn will pass it across her body to Erin Clark. Now over to Allie Garrett. 45 seconds remain on the shot clock, so now under halfway here of the 90-second clock. Skylar Weber driving inside. She'll shoot. That one's saved by Keller. Nice save by Jamie Keller. My bad, that was Jesko with the shot. Knew it sounded weird once I said it because I was thinking Weber's a defender, but that was Abby Jesko with the shot right there. Approaching 3 full minutes here into our 2nd quarter. Robert Morris jumped out to a 6-4 lead after the 1st quarter, and the Colonials have added 1 goal to that lead so far here in the 2nd. RMU working behind the net. Pass over, Jenna Irwin driving around the side.
That sounded serious.
That's something.
I'm sorry.
Something just banged above us. That's why I got quiet. I didn't know if something fell.
Yeah. It's like, you know, you're on air. I don't want to say that. No.
Another shot and another goal for Colleen Tift. There's no denying that one right there. That's her 4th goal today. And that makes it 4 straight games against the Penguins that Tift has scored 4 goals. And it looks like Youngstown State's going to make a goalie switch right here. Jacqueline Cornell, they call her Jackie. She's going to come off the bench, and she will come in for Michaela Starenko. So this is Cornell's 5th appearance of the season now. Youngstown State making the quick goalie switch, and if you're Coach Katulak, I don't blame you. You don't want to let this Robert Morris lead bloom too high. Now trailing by 4 goals. I think everything's okay above us. Nothing fell in front of us, so.
That's kind of what we're waiting for, right? Something to fall in front of us.
Yeah, so usually our main cameras, our game cams 1 and 2, our game cam and tight follow are above us here on the press box. But you just can't put anyone up there under the tarp in winds like this, so our game cameras are actually in the stands Of course, it's a whole crew effort. We're the lucky ones that get to be inside. Everyone else kind of has to brave the elements. They're the ones doing the dirty work for us. We appreciate everyone's work here on these broadcasts to make this happen. 8-4 our score. G.A. Anthony with it. Robert Morris passing around the perimeter. Coleman trying to drive inside. Nice pass. The Youngstown State defense is starting to stiffen up inside. Robert Morris not getting the looks that they got nearly in the first quarter, but they've still made the Penguins pay. Now one touch the outside line. One out of play. It'll be possession to the Penguins.
And YSU's defense, like you said, kind of getting a little bit better on the inside, and they're definitely going to have to putting that redshirt freshman goalie in there, or goalkeeper, I should say, in there, in Jacqueline Cornell.
That was a nice save by Allie Korn. Came across midfield to make that catch. She had to use the entire length of the stick to reach out and pull that one in. YSU looking for their first goal here the second quarter. The Colonials have done a good job not only controlling possession, but leaving YSU empty-handed on their very few offensive possessions so far here in the quarter. Clark working behind the net. Robert Morris will pass the defenders off. Moshe will pick her up. Kalandra Ryan now trying to drive in. She's defended by Kelly. Natalie trying to go to work, trying to pass it off. Great job by Robert Morris, forcing another turnover. Here comes Chelsea Coleman. We have no whistle blown. We have a Colonial down on the field. That is Coleman. She's able to get up, but that was a heavy collision. We'll take another look right here. Looks like she's okay. Didn't look like the collision was too big. Might have hyperextended the knee.
Definitely a possibility today, those players having to wait so long with that delay after a full warm-up.
9:06 to go here on the second quarter clock. Coleman, who was able to stay in. And now the Colonials will go back to work on offense. Thanks for tuning in. 3:10 our current time. If you're just now tuning in, we experienced about an hour and 20-minute weather delay before we started the game. If you're just now tuning in thinking this one will almost be over, we got a lot of time to go here. Halfway through our second quarter, and we got another half to go. And another goal for Robert Morris, make it 9-4 Colonials. The ball movement has been swift here in the second quarter. We'll take another look at this goal.
Just exposing the corners all day long. Robert Morris has done such a good job. The pump fake to the top and then right back to the side. Got Jacqueline Cornell once again off of her foundation. And once you're off your foundation, as everyone knows, it is so hard to get back and block anything in front of you. Robert Morris, 9-4 early in the second.
Julia Cotterwas with her second goal. Assist was given to Colleen Tift. It's Cotterwas' 7th goal of the season. And she had a very good second half of last season. The MAC title game against Central Michigan, she won scoreless. That snapped a 10-game scoring streak for her to end the season. And just like a lot of these Robert Morris players, they ended the second half of the season, and likewise with YSU, they played the second half of the season very strong during the conference slate. And they're looking to pick up where they left off a season ago. Robert Morris 18-2 in the MAC. First season of conference play, they went undefeated 10-0. last season lost 2 games, one of those being to Youngstown State in the regular season finale.
Track record's very good for Robert Morris and the MAC.
Definitely. Making the switch over has been one of the best things to happen for this program. And another goal right there. Make it 10-4, Robert Morris. Lead now up to 6.
And, I mean, if there wasn't already momentum on Robert Morris' side, it's all over there now.
G.A. Anthony.
Ooh, just a complete sideways swing. And Cornell, I don't even think Cornell was ready for that one. I don't think anybody was ready. I don't think anybody for YSU is ready for that shot to be taken.
That's Anthony's first goal of the day. Her 9th on the season. Anthony, a junior out of Syracuse, New York. She's coming off a really good performance last time out against UC Davis. She had a hat trick, a season high 3 goals in that one. We are back to midfield, back to action. Possession will go to Robert Morris. Colonials on top 10-4. What was a 6-4 game at the end of the first quarter has blossomed because of a 4-0 run by Robert Morris to start our second 15 minutes of action. But the Penguins do force a turnover there. Arius Lindsay moving down the far side. We're going to have a yellow card given to Robert Morris. So that'll make Anthony have to step off. Anthony, who just scored that goal to put Robert Morris in double digits. Now Youngstown State will be a man up. Robert Morris is down a midfielder.
This will be interesting to see how Robert Morris responds to a little bit of adversity here, as they really haven't had any so far in this game.
Yeah, they've answered every Youngstown State blow thus far. They even played a defender down a little bit ago, and they still held their ground. Jordan Miller with a goal for the Penguins. So Youngstown State moving the ball around quickly, coming right out of the stoppage. We'll take another look. Great ball movement. Good find inside from Corin. And Miller capitalizes. That's her first goal today. Her 8th on the season.
Jordan Miller, the 6'1 junior from North Canton, Ohio. Always going to win the battle, especially when it comes to height. It is so nice for Erin Clark to be able to throw that ball pretty much wherever over the defender and know that she has a 6'1 attack running right down the middle at full speed.
Seven minutes, 2 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Back at midfield for the draw. And Tristan Chang will come down with it for the Penguins. YSU will now try to go on a little run of their own. Now trailing by 5. Pass off to Garrett. Now over to Calandra Ryan. Youngstown State wearing their all-white uniforms today. Robert Morris wearing the all navy blue. Pass over to Corin. She's going to move behind the net. And we mentioned earlier we didn't know how big of a factor the wind was going to play on ball movement. Seems like the players have adapted pretty quickly to it. Clark shot. Heavy collision inside. Have a Penguin and a Colonial down. Both able to get up. Now Erin Clark will have a free position attempt.
And to your point, Anthony, it seems like, you know, both teams have kind of had their fair share of struggles with the wind, whether it be passes across the field or whatever the case may be. But it seems like even though the wind is gusting pretty good, the YSU and Robert Morris have both adapted pretty well.
Driving inside and scoring for Youngstown State is Erin Clark. Her first goal of the day. That'll make it 10-6. Penguins with a little bit of momentum here in the second half of our second quarter.
Erin Clark able to pretty much outrun everybody down the middle there. A free position chance with the fastest player on the field is always going to end well 90% of the time, I would say. And YSU has that in Erin Clark.
Clark will have to step off the field real quick. We'll need a sub for her. 5:56 to go in our second quarter. Robert Morris has really spread the wealth around. Their big three here today. Colleen Tiff with 4 goals. Kelsey Nelson with 3. Julia Cotterwas with 2. For Youngstown State, they're led by Allie Korn, who had 3 first quarter goals. Then Natalie Calandra-Ryan, Jordan Miller, and Erin Clark responsible for the other 3. Colonials control the draw. And now they're going to try to put this Youngstown State momentum to rest. Pass over to Chelsea Coleman. She's the leading scorer for Robert Morris on the season, but she has been held at bay so far today. Sure, she'll get her opportunities at some point, though, today. Tiff was trying to pass it on the ground. Her and Lindsay hit the deck. Robert Morris keeps possession. We're going to have a whistle blown, and this is going to give Jenna Irwin a free possession chance now for Robert Morris. Irwin, 8 goals so far this season. She scored 1 goal in each game last season against YSU. She'll drive in. She'll shoot. Nice save by Cornell. Irwin took a sidestep to her right. She had a straight shot at the goal, but Cornell put the stick up in enough time, and she comes down with the save.
Robert Morris has been so successful so far today on those little sidesteps, one-on-one with the goalkeepers for Youngstown State, both Steranko and Cornell. So to see Cornell get that stop right there is huge for YSU in the defense.
Erin Clark back out on the field for the Penguins. So it's a good thing for YSU. They got her patched up. She didn't have to miss a single offensive possession. Under 4:30 to go here in the second quarter. Allie Garrett with it. She'll make her way around Calandra-Ryan, driving inside. She loses it. Ball still in play. No whistle blown. Possession will stay with the Penguins. Garrett was asking for a foul.
Yeah, Garrett kind of walked away from the play asking for a foul while it was still going on.
Back underway. Yesko pass it off to Jordan Miller. Now on the stick of Tristan Chang, a name we haven't said too many times today. Chang, a junior out of Melbourne, Florida, made her 6th start of the season today. It's a bit of a weather climate change up here right now than it would be in Florida.
Just a little bit.
Garrett with the shot. Nice save by Keller. And we're going to have a foul on the Penguins.
Tell you what, the wind might be kind of sort of the same, though.
Yeah. Jamie Keller has really had a good performance so far. 5 first-half saves for Robert Morris. And the wind is picking back up again. The crazy part is we had the storms earlier today, and now we're supposed to get snow tonight.
And then in three or 4 days, we're supposed to get back up to like 65. It's pretty good.
Not a bad climate here.
No, not at all.
YSU will get it back under 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Nice job by Hoffman getting away from the pressure. And that's something that YSU really struggled with early on in the season was the pressure. We talked about how the Penguins started the season against Butler, were able to win, but then they had a 2-game stretch against 2 very tough opponents in Marquette and Cincinnati that they could not move the ball around turnover. Great look here for the Colonials, and they'll get a goal. Chelsea Coleman taking advantage of the YSU turnover, and she'll add a goal to the board for Robert Morris.
The Robert Morris sideline is ecstatic right now. They are playing with some passion.
And as I was saying, Youngstown State struggled early on in the season, moving the ball around without turning it over. Against Marquette, they had very small possessions compared to Marquette. As I was talking about the confidence building, the teamwork building, there's a miscue right there, and Robert Morris, they were picked the preseason champs for a reason. They take advantage of the turnover, and they add a goal to the board.
Yeah, and they look really good right now. Fundamentally sound on both sides of the ball, and with the goalkeeper as well. Like you said earlier, one of, if not the best, in the MAC. So Robert Morris definitely has everything working for them so far today.
(11-6) Colonials, 2:27 to go here in the second quarter. And another draw control for Robert Morris, but Eris Lindsay coming in to force the turnover. And that did not make the Robert Morris fan section happy. They believe that there should not have been a foul right there. But that was a nice job by Lindsay forcing the turnover. She leads the team coming in today and caused turnovers with 13. You can add one more to that right there. Allie Corrin working behind the net for YSU. Penguins trailing by 5. They're staying within striking distance, but you'd love to add a goal or two here before the break, because we've seen how quick Robert Morris can strike. Calandra Ryan being defended by Kelly. She'll pass it off to Allie Garrett. Garrett now trying to go to work. The freshman shoots. Another save by Keller. Allie Garrett's had a couple chances today, but Jamie Keller has not let her find the back of the net.
And RMU, as we have a player down.
The Robert Morris trainers making their way out onto the field. 1:14 to go here in the second quarter. 11-6, our score, Robert Morris on top. As both teams are gonna huddle up, we'll give you a quick game reset. Robert Morris, 11 goals on 4 assists so far today. Youngstown State, 6 goals with 2 assists. Colonials are out shooting the Penguins by 4. But both teams today, Robert Morris with their 16 shots and Youngstown State with their 12. All shots have been on goal so far in the first half for both teams. So these are two teams that are very efficient when they're shooting. The injured Colonial able to get up to her feet and walk off the field. That's Abby Elliott. So that's a very good sign for Robert Morris.
Robert Morris has done such a good job today of limiting the YSU playmakers, namely number 22, Natalie Calandra Ryan, one of the best attacks in the MAC, if not the best attack statistically in the MAC. And even just every other playmaker for YSU, Robert Morris has just done such a good job so far today of limiting those playmakers and getting turnovers 6-7 in favor of Robert Morris, or caused turnovers, I should say, 5-1 in favor of Robert Morris.
A yellow card was given to Natalie Calandra Ryan, so she'll have to sit for 2 minutes. So she'll be down for the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half. Minute 14 to go here in the second quarter. Robert Morris has done a good job in the first half causing Youngstown State turnovers. The Colonials have 6 turnovers, but only 1 has been caused by YSU. It's just been self-errors on the Colonials, but for YSU, out of their 7 turnovers, 5 have been forced by Robert Morris, and a lot of those have come deep in Robert Morris territory where their defenders are just jarring it away from the YSU attackers. Under a minute to go now in the first half. Can Robert Morris add another goal and double up Youngstown State heading into the break? Shot clock is turned off. G.A. Anthony with it. She'll pass it off. Robert Morris taking their time. Want this to be the last good shot of the first half. Pass over to Nelson. Look inside. Forced away by YSU, but we're going to have a foul called. This is going to give Robert Morris the free position attempt with just 15 seconds to go here in the second quarter. We'll take another look right here.
And YSU is not going to be happy with that. They did such a good job of forcing Robert Morris to keep swinging that and finding the little tiny crease. Sets up Robert Morris for a chance here right before the end of the first half.
Irwin driving in. Saved by Cornell. Nice job by Jackie Cornell. Saving the free position shot attempt. And it looks like that will do it here for the first half. 30 minutes in. 30 minutes to go. Robert Morris on top of Youngstown State 11-6. We'll take a quick break. We'll have second half action coming up in approximately 10 minutes.
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys. Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Champion Insurance of Austintown in Austintown if auto owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
Good one.
Yep. Nice. Beautiful. Nice job, Ella.
You call your agent with a simple question, only to get sent to voicemail again. We pick up the phone. I get this. Hello, this is Sam. How can I help you? Like I said, we pick up the phone because it's ringing. That's simple human sense.
Ask Siebert Keck Insurance in Youngstown if auto owners make sense for you.
Hello, this is Sam.
At Youngstown State University, your future is waiting for you, where value is not only defined by our cost, but in degrees and services. It's a place to live and a place to learn, where friendships are forged and professional connections build the foundation of your career. A place where education is everything and experience matters. We are Youngstown State University, and we are waiting for you. Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys. Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Griffith Agency in Girard if auto owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Mercy Health, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Mercy Health, primary care for the universe of you. Visit mercy.com/primary care to connect with the provider today.
You call your agent with a simple question, only to get sent to voicemail again. We pick up the phone. Did you get this? Hello, this is Sam. How can I help you? Like I said, we pick up the phone because it's ringing. That's simple human sense.
Ask Gem Young Insurance in Canfield if auto owners make sense for you.
Hello, this is Sam.
Welcome back. Start of the third quarter here at the Covelli Sports Complex. Anthony Romo, Jake Silak back on the call. It was a first half that was dominated for the most part by Robert Morris. They lead Youngstown State 11-6 through 30 minutes of play here in the Mid-American Conference opener. Jake, when we look back at the first 30 minutes of play, what do you think Robert Morris did well that has kind of catapulted them to this 5-goal advantage?
Other than really just playing fundamentally sound lacrosse, the cause turnovers, the 5-1 in favor of Robert Morris. YSU's kryptonite this year has been how many turnovers they give up and how quickly they give them up. So Robert Morris getting those turnovers early and turning those into goals just is a huge momentum killer for YSU whenever they've tried to get something back.
And also something to keep an eye on, you can see on your screen, Natalie Calandra-Ryan will still be in the penalty box for the first 46 seconds here of the third quarter. She got a yellow card towards the end of the first half. So Youngstown State will have to play without her to begin the third quarter. And we are back underway. Here, Youngstown State, Robert Morris. Two teams that had to share the MAC regular season title last year. Looking to do the same this year. Each club, of course, trying to win it outright. We're going to have a quick stoppage right in front of the RMU sideline. Possession will stay with Youngstown State. The Colonials have controlled 11 of the 19 draws today. Youngstown State has controlled 8. That's something that both teams have struggled with this season. Robert Morris minus 22 in the draw controls coming into today on the season. YSU minus 29. But like we mentioned earlier, both these teams played some very tough non-conference schedules. As the pass back to Kayla Stecker, she dropped it for a second, was able to compose herself and pick it back up. Bad pass, though. Penguins can't keep it in bounds, and that'll be a turnover. You're going to have to keep that at a minimum here in the second half, Jake, if you want to make a comeback.
Yeah, unforced errors right there are going to be huge for YSU. You got to keep possession. You got to keep the ball in front of you, and you cannot turn the ball over for no reason. I do like the aggressiveness, though, trying to push it down the field. You do need a little bit of that still, but you do have to kind of keep that to a minimum.
Of course. Robert Morris will give it right back to the Penguins, though. Robert Morris, just a quick game reset. The Colonials, led by Colleen Tiff so far with 4 goals. Kelsey Nelson has 3. And Julia Coterwas has 2 thus far for Youngstown State. They're led by Allie Corrin, who has 3 goals. Then Natalie Calandra, Ryan, Jordan Miller, and Aaron Clark, each with 1 goal apiece thus far. Just underway here in the third quarter, approaching 2 full minutes into this third frame. Aaron Clark driving in. She'll pass it off to Calandra Ryan. Can't field the pass cleanly, and she is boxed out. Nice job right there by number 31, Kathleen Kelly. We're going to have a yellow card given. Oh boy, that's given to Calandra Ryan, so her day should be done. That's her second yellow card, and that is a huge loss for Youngstown State. $12:55 to go here in the third quarter. Robert Morris will have possession back.
Penguins pushing it ahead. Jordan Miller on the move to the right side of the net.
And she'll settle down with it. She'll pass it over to Aaron Clark now. .68 seconds remain on the shot clock for YSU. Still got a lot of time. Want to start digging into this deficit. Time's obviously not the friend of the Penguins. Still a lot of time to go, but you don't want that pressure to build up on your shoulders too much.
Especially against the defense and Robert Morris that hasn't shown any break so far.
That's true, and that's the other thing. You just got to give credit to the Colonials defense. They've done a great job not giving YSU many good looks at all so far today, but here's one right here. Tristan Chang driving in.
And Anthony, it really is the same situation that YSU just saw at Pitt, where there were opportunities, but Pitt's defense is, I mean, they just played a very, very sound game for the entire duration.
Yeah, there was a point in the fourth quarter where YSU only had 5 goals. They scored the last 4 to make it a respectable score. We're going to have a whistle blown. Here's going to be the first good chance for YSU here in the third quarter. A team that has taken advantage of free position shot attempts last season and this season. They're going to have one right here with Allie Corrin, who's looking for her 4th goal right here. .11:21 on the third quarter clock. Corrin drives in. She'll shoot, and she gets it forced out of the stick on the attempt. And that'll be another empty possession for YSU. Here comes Robert Morris the other way. Ball on the ground. Colonials will keep it. Another great defensive stand for Robert Morris.
And that makes it double-digit turnovers for YSU, eclipsing that 10 mark to Robert Morris's 8.
These two teams will meet up again fairly soon on April 12th, so just in 11 days will be the second matchup between these two teams at Robert Morris. Nice save by Cornell. And Youngstown State will make a stand defensively. Both defenses starting to settle in a little bit here in the third quarter.
And we'll see now who on the offensive side of the ball, or on the attack side of the ball, I should say, will step up in place of Calandra Ryan, who, as Anthony mentioned, 2 yellow cards and will be gone for the rest of the game here, which is obviously a huge loss for Youngstown State.
Definitely. And to lose her so early here in the third quarter, it's going to be tough. Your leading scorer, the leading scorer in the MAC, Calandra Ryan, ranking 13th in the country in points per game, 15th in goals per game coming into today. Corrin will shoot. She gets hit. No call. It's just been a really physical Mid-American Conference game. That's all you can say so far, Jake.
Yeah.
That collision right there wasn't anything we haven't seen so far today.
No, you kind of hit the nail on the head there when you mentioned the very physical MAC game so far. And that's really what you expect in a lot of these games in the Mid-American Conference, just physical grit and a lot of defense being played here on both sides of the ball. And like I keep mentioning, Robert Morris is just doing such a good job so far.
Now under 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter. It's been a stalemate so far since we began the second half. Neither side with a goal so far. Now with how it has usually went, that'll probably mean Robert Morris will score right here now that I said that.
It has been,
we'll see.
It has been such a reoccurring thing so far this year when we say something like that.
The good old announcer's jinx.
I couldn't tell what happened there, Anthony. I got nervous for a second.
A missed shot. Possession will go to YSU.
Okay.
I think what the RMU fans are arguing under us was the referee was trying to say that the ball was freed away from the stick, forcing the turnover, but the Robert Morris fans are trying to say that that was a shot because they did have the closer player. But YSU will give it right back to the Colonials. Robert Morris hasn't found the back of the net like we said here in the third quarter, but they've done a great job putting pressure on Youngstown State, and the Penguins just have not been able to pass through this Robert Morris pressure. And their turnover total is rising quickly now, double digits for YSU, 11 turnovers so far today. They're a team that averages 17 on the season.
And as you mentioned earlier, Robert Morris is a team that really, they don't score too many points. They haven't really scored too many points this season so far, but that's just the style of lacrosse that they play, defense-oriented. And they're showing that so far today, and it's catching back up to them on the offensive side.
Yeah, YSU has gotten in some track meets that in the games they've won this season. Robert Morris hasn't scored as many goals as YSU, but on the other end, they have not given up as many. This Robert Morris defense has done a great job this season. It's the old adage, defense wins championships. So if the Colonials can get this offense to start coming around and get a lot of these players that performed so well last season to try to find some confidence and momentum, this could be a scary team once again in the MAC.
Yeah, and last season, defense quite literally won a championship for RMU last year. So in accordance with the MAC. So with that being said, you know, you hit it, again, right on the head. Two teams that really pride themselves on their abilities to play defense.
Nice find from Clark to Corrin, and Allie Corrin nets her 4th goal of the day. Allie Corrin, yet again, that's the 2nd or 3rd time we've seen it today, where she's come around the backside. No one picked her up. Good find from Clark, just the dump over the top of the goalie. There's another goal for the Penguins.
And that's a great move right there from Youngstown State to try to get Robert Morris off balance. They attacked so far in towards that crease that the goalkeeper there I've just completely lost my thing. Jamie Keller, thank you. Just thought that was going to be a shot and had no recognition behind her there. It's going to work every time.
6:26 to go in the 3rd quarter. Down to a 4-goal deficit. YSU's down by 4, but it feels like it's 14. Robert Morris has just had that much control. And something to note, I just checked the weather. So when we were supposed to start at 1 o'clock, it was 65 degrees. Now it feels like 43. So
and you could tell when the teams got here today and they were warming up, the choice of uniforms for both squads. I mean, when they came back out of the locker rooms, we saw our goalkeepers, in just completely different uniforms. Nobody was prepared for 65 to 43.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a turn, that's for sure. Like I said, we went from one of the crazier windstorms I've seen in a while earlier today to snow possibly tonight. Approaching 6 to go here, 6 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 11-7 our score. Allie Corrin just netted the 1st goal of the 3rd quarter for either side. But here comes Robert Morris on the other end. Kelly driving in. She'll pass it off. Colleen Tift had a very quick start today for Robert Morris. She had 3 first-quarter goals. Got her 4th goal in the 2nd quarter. But the Colonials have been unable to find the back of the net thus far here in the 2nd half. Lily Haddon passing it out, now in. Another save by Cornell. Jacqueline Cornell with her 4th save today. She came in about halfway through the 2nd quarter. True freshman from Beaver Creek, Ohio, and she's really been starting to step up as her experience has strengthened here throughout her 1st season. Cornell will pass it up over to Mia Stahl. Freshman to freshman connection. Stahl loses it. Can she keep it? No, she cannot. YSU will give it back to Robert Morris.
We're talking about Jacqueline Cornell, the redshirt freshman from Beaver Creek, Ohio. That redshirt year does absolute wonders for a student athlete, being able to see what's in front of her, what she has to do to get up to that level, Anthony. That redshirt year is so, if you get the opportunity for it under the right circumstances, it can really do so much for your game and elevate you to a level like you've never seen before.
Definitely. Approaching 4 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Robert Morris driving inside. Had the ball lost for a second. That was Irwin driving in who lost it. Possession will stay with the Colonials. Now that's a call that YSU fans don't like. Another foul on the Penguins. Chelsea Coleman will retain possession. She has 1 goal so far today. Pushed her to a team leading 15 goals on the season. She'll shoot. That one's ripped to the right of the net. But Robert Morris will keep possession. Can the Colonials break the seal here on their 3rd quarter scoring? With it is Boyle. She tries to pass it away, but that's a bad pass. YSU will get it back.
The window is slowly opening here for YSU. It's very slowly creeping open. YSU really just needs to step on the pedal here and make something happen. But man, is it so hard to do down one of the best the best attackers in the Mid-American Conference.
Not only the Mid-American Conference, but
in
all
the
of
country.
mid-major. Yeah. We'll put the label straight on the country. I was going to
Yeah.
say mid-major. But another goal right
There we
there
go.
for the Penguins. Danny Emler finds the back of the net. She had to step up with the player down in Youngstown State. She had to step into a role. Found her on the backside, past the defense. And she'll find the back of the net. That's her second goal of the season. Assist goes to Allie Corrin. So she's up to 6 points today.
Emler did such a good job right there of understanding how to slip behind the defense, like you mentioned, and getting one-on-one with the goalkeeper there.
And a timeout will be called. 2:41 to go here in the third quarter. And Youngstown State is starting to make it interesting. They've outscored the Colonials 2-0 here in the third quarter thus far. And we mentioned before this last goal how it was a 4-goal difference, but it felt like it was 14. But now that YSU has gotten consecutive stops defensively, they've been able to find the back of the net. They've started to turn the tide a little bit here on their home field. YSU has only won, which is surprisingly with how good they were last year going 10-8. Out of their 12 wins in program history, only one win has come on this field, Farmers National Bank Field. YSU won all 4 games last year in the Watts, and then they won on Senior Day last season against Kent State. That was their first ever home win here on this field. So they're looking for just their second win ever on this field. It felt like it was a little bit of a curse at first, but
Yeah.
they cracked it last year on Senior Day, and now they're looking to mount a big comeback. And this would be a huge win for this program with everything that has happened so far this season. You had a coaching change in the middle of the season. Hallie Katulak has stepped into that interim head coach role after being just a college lacrosse player herself last year. So this would really give YSU a foot in the right direction.
Yeah, like you mentioned, a young head coach stepping into a role with a team that was trying to find their way and find their footing and still trying to find their way at that. So anything that she can do to help this program out, however she has to do it, she will. And it's definitely something to be noted that, you know, being a college lacrosse player last year, you kind of understand where some of these girls are coming from here when they're struggling or when they're not playing well. So it's cool to have that connection right there of a younger coach that really has seen and pretty much been with these girls for a while now.
Katulak just finished a 5-year career at Walsh University as a midfielder and a defender. She helped lead Walsh to their first 2 Great Midwest Athletic Conference titles in these past 2 seasons. We're going to have a stoppage in play by our referee. Possession will go to YSU. I think he just pointed in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I kind of gave the my fault situation.
So YSU will have it. Ball is in the stick of Abby Yesko. .2:16 to go in the third quarter. YSU with possession yet again. This is a big chance for the Penguins to cut the deficit down to 2. Erin Clark working to the back left corner of the net. She'll pass it out in front to Allie Garrett. Garrett trying to cut through the double team. She's hit. We're going to have a foul called on Robert Morris, and Garrett is still down. We've seen a lot of big collisions today. That's for sure.
Yeah, we've definitely seen our fair share, and we're going to see another one here. Garrett just trying to split the defense, and Robert Morris wanted no part of that.
We're going to have a yellow card given to Haley Moshe. So Robert Morris is down a defender yet again. They were down Abby Elliott earlier to a yellow card. Now they're down Haley Moshe, junior out of Hilton, New York. Colonials will make some quick substitutions. Checking in is Abby Elliott. Checking out is number 12, Olivia Rupert. Free position chance. Garrett drives in. She shoots and she scores. Allie Garrett with her first goal of the day. And YSU continues to chip into this deficit. It's now an 11-9 ball game.
The freshman right there, Allie Garrett, we've seen it all season long in those free position chances. She loves to just attack right away as fast as possible and find the corners. She did it right there, and YSU, that window was opening a little bit, and it's starting to get a little bit wider now.
Under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, and the Penguins still here in the third quarter have done such a good job holding Robert Morris at bay.
What looked like Robert Morris could pretty much do whatever they wanted to has slowly started to turn here as this third quarter has progressed.
Yep, 3 goals here in the second half from Youngstown State. Allie Corrin, Danny Emler, and Allie Garrett responsible for the 3. We have a completely new ball game, but a nice job by the Colonials to control the draw. They're going to move quickly down the field. Coleman with it, passes it inside. YSU pushes her out, though. It was a good look for Koterwas.
I was really surprised she didn't take that shot there.
Koterwas, excuse me. Game clock and shot clock separated by about 10 seconds. Pass behind the net. Robert Morris, you can see they're moving with some urgency. They're trying to speed up the offense, and they sped themselves up. Ball on the ground. Who will come up with it? It'll be Youngstown State. As soon as we mentioned the pace picking up, Robert Morris went a little bit too quick for their own liking. So now with under a minute to go in the third quarter, about 50 seconds remaining, YSU with a chance to possibly add another goal before we head into the fourth quarter.
And the Colonials are a team that, as Anthony mentioned earlier in the broadcast, the team that really likes to use that shot clock and use the shot clock to their advantage, take it as far down as they can. And when they start speeding up and they're only getting halfway through that thing, we can see some turnovers.
We're going to have another yellow card given to Robert Morris. This one's given to Koterwas. So she'll have to check out. Doesn't hurt the Colonials too much in this case if YSU can hold on to the last possession of the quarter. Now Robert Morris being down an attacker. But this will roll over into the fourth quarter. So for about the first minute and a half of the fourth quarter, Robert Morris will be without one of their top attackers. Pass out to Jordan Miller. Under 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. Over to Chang now. Back to Miller. Good look. She'll shoot wide of the net. 10 seconds remain now. One more chance for the Penguins. Corrin down to 6 seconds. She'll drive in. She'll have to get rid of it. Pass inside. We're going to have a Colonial down. Clock was stopped with 0.4 of a second. In that case, I don't know if you put more time back on the clock. I don't know if it was just an official's whistle due to a down player. We'll see if there is an actual call.
We'll see here the replay. You can see just a little, kind of a little tangle up there, it looks like, between some defenders and attackers.
This would be a tough break for YSU to have this good of a look towards the end of the quarter and not be able to capitalize. It's been interesting. These two teams have kind of rode the same slope when it comes to games this season. They've both been outscored in the first, second, and third quarters by a good amount this season. But Robert Morris in the fourth quarter has been outscored 20-17. YSU's been outscored 32-31. So these teams both usually play their best in the final frame. So if you're tuned in, you shouldn't go anywhere because the fourth quarter could be the most competitive one we've had so far today.
And what looked like a game that was trending in a Robert Morris blowout direction, especially after the loss of Natalie Calandra-Ryan for YSU, all of a sudden, like you said, turns into a real game here.
And this will put an end to the quarter. With the officials' whistle, Corn will have to start from behind the net.
And YSU is going to miss out on a really good opportunity there.
So that'll take us to the end of the third quarter, 11-9, Robert Morris on top. But Youngstown State trying to continue to chip away at this deficit. We'll be right back.
That was a good one.
Yep. Nice. Beautiful. Nice job, Ella.
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys. Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Champion Insurance of Austintown in Austintown if auto owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
At Youngstown State University, your future is waiting for you, where value is not only defined by our cost, but in degrees and services. It's a place to live and a place to learn, where friendships are forged and professional connections build the foundation of your career. A place where education is everything and experience matters. We are Youngstown State University, and we are waiting for you.
Welcome back. Start of the fourth quarter here between Youngstown State and Robert Morris. Anthony Romo, Jake Silak back on the call here today from Farmers National Bank Field. A 3-0 third quarter in favor of Youngstown State has put the Penguins back within striking distance, only trailing by 2 goals now. Robert Morris looking to add some offensive momentum back into their swing of things here in the final 15 minutes. And Jake, of course, Youngstown State playing for most of the second half without their best attacker, Natalie Calandra-Ryan, who was given her second yellow card within the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. That's hurt the Penguins, but other players have stepped up in her absence. Danny Emler's had a goal. Allie Garrett had a goal in the third quarter. Allie Corn has been all over today, stepping up. She leads YSU with 4 goals. Leading Robert Morris with 4 goals is Colleen Tift. Kelsey Nelson has 3, and Julia Cotterwas has 2. 13 turnovers for both teams. Youngstown State has forced the last 4 turnovers here today. They had 13 turnovers, so Robert Morris is 9 at one point in the third quarter. But a very strong start, or strong end of the third quarter, by YSU has brought them right back within this game. Colonials, though, with a good chance after controlling the opening draw. Nice stutter step, drive in. The shot, saved by Cornell. Jordan Anderson had a good look, but Jackie Cornell was ready for it.
And Cornell's done a really good job in the second half in net so far. Clearly 0 goals for Robert Morris and another save right there. So the redshirt freshman is really stepping up into her role in the second half.
Lily Haddon was able to force the turnover and get it back quickly for Robert Morris. And the Colonials are still down Julia Cotterwas for 40 more seconds. She got a yellow card towards the end of the third quarter. So YSU still playing a man up. With it is Nelson. Being face guarded basically by Stecker. 40 seconds remain on the shot clock for RMU. We talk about how they drain the clock out on these long-lasting possessions, try to tire the opposing defense out. Now 25 seconds remain on the shot clock. Nelson still running around with it. Cotterwas makes her way back in. That's what Robert Morris was waiting for. Her time with the yellow card to be up. Cotterwas driving in. She'll shoot. Saved! Deflected back. Robert Morris will keep it. With it is Tift. She'll pass it off. Does YSU have another stop right here? Another chance. Coleman driving in. She loses it. Ball on the ground. Stays with Robert Morris. YSU just can't get it cleared. Another chance. That one's wide. It'll stay with Robert Morris.
Still can't get it cleared.
This has been an exciting possession here for the Colonials. Just 23 seconds remain on the shot clock. Cotterwas will pass it off. Nelson with it. Kelsey Nelson trying to spin off the defender. And that one goes into the stick finally.
So big for YSU.
Cornell. What a stand there, Jake.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, shot on goal after shot on goal after shot on goal. Turnovers that went right back to Robert Morris. YSU made a huge stand right there on defense. And we even see a couple new Penguins, not new Penguins on the field right now, but younger Penguins on the field.
Like we said, with Calandra Ryan being out, everyone else is going to have to collectively step up. This has been all we've wanted and more here in the MAC opener. Tristan Chain gets past the midfield. She'll drive inside towards the Robert Morris defense. She'll not pass it off to Corin. 11.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Can YSU continue their goal-scoring streak? Garrett loses her footing. Nice job forcing the clean turnover by the Colonials. And here they come the other way. Pass off. Over to Haddon. She'll find Irwin. And now the Colonials will settle down just a tad offensively. Now on the stick of Gia Anthony. She can't get a clean look. She'll pass it out. Nelson now loses her footing. Pass inside. Shot wide of the net. That was a good look for Coleman. Robert Morris will keep possession. You can see the Colonials try to start to get some offensive momentum their way, but they just cannot find the net.
Yeah, and YSU's done a really good job stepping up on defense, too. They're applying a lot more pressure than they were in the first half. YSU's defense almost played scared of the offense to Robert Morris in the first half, and it's a complete script flip so far in the second half today.
Robert Morris is going to have a good chance right here. It's going to be a free position attempt from the left side for Julia Cotterwas. She has 2 goals today. She's looking for a hat trick. 9:57 to go in the fourth quarter. Cotterwas drives in. She'll shoot. Saved by Cornell. We're going to have another whistle blown, though. That's going to be a foul on the Penguins. So we can pretty much reset. We'll take another look. Ayers Lindsay with the hip check. Cotterwas lost her footing. She's going to have another chance. We'll see if Cornell has another save in her. She has 6 so far today. After coming off the bench in the midway through the second quarter. That shot bounces off the ground. That's to the left of the net. Every shot that has missed this possession has been to the left of the net. We're going to have a referee stoppage. Looks like we're ready to go now.
And you got to think that with all of the things that have happened on the defensive side of the ball for YSU, you really got to have a score here, and I just gave it away.
Robert Morris coming the other way again. Here comes Tift. She'll shoot. That's off the crossbar. And we're going to have a yellow card given to Youngstown State. This one's going to be given to Molly Sheridan. So she'll have to step out for 2 minutes. Penguins are now down a midfielder. This is a big chance for Robert Morris to put an end to this drought. This is who you want in the stick of, Colleen Tift, your leading scorer with 4 goals today. Already a season high. This is her 4th multi-goal performance of the season. One of those 5 returning all-conference players we mentioned earlier. She was a second-team All-Max selection. Scored 4 goals in all 3 games against YSU last season, looking to make it her 5th goal in the first matchup between these 2 teams this season, if she can connect right here. Tift drives in, shoots, saved by Cornell. Shot was a little bit high, but Cornell was able to get a stick on it and push it back. Possession will stay with Robert Morris. YSU's been able to get all these stops, but they're turning it over. I don't know if they've gotten it across midfield here in the last few minutes.
You can't say enough about Cornell right now in the goal, stepping in to a role, to a game that she didn't even start in today, and having a huge second half on the stops.
It's going to be another chance for Robert Morris. 8:54 to go in the 4th quarter. Tift driving in. She'll shoot. Saved again. It has been a defensive masterpiece here in the second half, and the Penguins are running the other way. Tristan Chang with it. Now she'll slow it down. Why is she looking to make some substitutions? .836 to go in the 4th quarter. Corin with it. Team high 4 goals today so far for Allie Corin. She loses her footing. A foul will be called. Collided with Kathleen Kelly. And the wind is back.
It never ends.
It's whipping above us.
You'll see there a little check from Robert Morris.
Yesko will pass it off to Aaron Clark. Clark's been pretty quiet today stat-wise, but she's made a big difference in the field. Just 1 goal, 2 assists today for Clark. Under 8 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. 11-9 our score. Miller with the ball. We're going to have a foul called on the Colonials. .26 seconds remain on the shot clock. Robert Morris sending a double team out deep. Youngstown State's going to have to get something going here quickly. Under 20 seconds now on the shot clock. Yesko just cannot get any free space. She'll now get past Nelson. Pass inside to Corin. Her shot. Saved by Keller.
What a game we're seeing from these 2 goalkeepers.
Both teams are playing well defensively. YSU's outscored Robert Morris 3-0 in the second half, but neither team has scored thus far here in the 4th quarter. Moshe will pass it off. And now's when time really starts to become a friend of Robert Morris. We're under 7 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. If the Colonials can drain this clock out on each possession, we could be looking at 5-6 more possessions total here in the ball game, at least in regulation.
Besides, a team that likes to play shot clock lacrosse.
Working her way around and shooting and missing was Haddon, but Robert Morris will keep it. .29 seconds remain on the shot clock. .606 to go in the fourth quarter. Coleman driving in. Her shot and she'll score. A huge goal by Chelsea Coleman puts the lead back up to 3. And that is Robert Morris's first goal since 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the second quarter. So that snaps a scoreless streak of 26 minutes.
And it came at the perfect time for Robert Morris, a goal that could very well put this game close to out of reach. Time dependent, of course.
Yeah, YSU's going to have to move quickly now offensively. Pretty much going to have to score on every possession from here on out to at least tie it. But it all starts with controlling the draw. Right here. Of course, there's a long ways to go down the road in the conference play, with this being the MAC opener for both teams. But this is such a big game because there's a good chance both these teams could be towards the top of the table at the end of the regular season. When you come down to tiebreakers,
you want to have this one.
Yeah. These two teams will meet again on April 12th at Robert Morris. And the Colonials force another turnover. And here they come the other way. Cotterwas. She'll pull it out. Very smart decision. And now Robert Morris with 80 seconds on this shot clock. They can drain a lot of time if they take this whole shot clock down. Anthony with it. She'll fake the pass. Now under 5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Kelsey Nelson working to the right of the net. She'll pass it off. Now over to Haddon. Another goal here could honestly put it on ice for Robert Morris. .30 seconds on the shot clock. Gia Anthony working straight away from the net. Still time for the Colonials. YSU playing patient defensively. Shot clock at 10 seconds. Robert Morris going to have to go to work. Anthony trying to drive past Stecker. She cannot do so. She'll pass it off. And that's a shot clock violation. It's a good job by YSU, but if you're Robert Morris, you did your job.
Yeah, really, honestly, if you're Robert Morris, even though it is a shot clock violation, it's really not that bad of a situation to be in anymore. Got rid of a whole 90 seconds from the game clock.
And I think if YSU is unable to come back here, something you can really look back at is earlier on in the fourth quarter, how many stops YSU had defensively but could not get the possession. Garrett driving in.
Yeah,
this
and
is
holding.
huge.
Yeah.
This is a stop in the clock. It's going to be a free position chance for Allie Garrett. And if you're YSU, you want to have as many free position attempts as you can because that means you're working without the clock moving.
And you have a chance right now with your freshman who loves to attack and attack fast.
Garrett drives in. She'll shoot. Saved partially. We're going to have a whistle blown. That'll be a turnover. Ball will go back to Robert Morris, and Garrett is down. Looks like she may have got the wind knocked out of her. Stop the clock with 3:24 to go in the fourth quarter. Garrett slow to get up. Allie Garrett, freshman out of West Henrietta, New York.
Just kind of took a stick right there.
She's able to get up, get her bearings straight. But as I was saying, if you look back at it for YSU, how many stops did you get early in the fourth quarter that you were unable to get possession back? As YSU will get possession back right here, it'll be another free position chance, I do believe.
That's a big thing to look back on, just the pros and cons of the situation. The pros being you played a really good game second half defensively, just the complete opposite of that from the offensive end.
Garrett drives in. She'll pass it off to Chang. She can't field it cleanly. And it'll go right to the stick of Jamie Keller. It's been a great game defensively for Keller. 9 saves today. Coming off a game against UC Davis where she kind of struggled, gave up 11 goals, only had 4 saves. It's a risky pass, but Robert Morris will keep possession. They're going to say Eris Lindsay forced Kelsey Nelson out of bounds. And Robert Morris will call a timeout. 2:52 to go in our fourth quarter. Robert Morris on top 12-9. It's kind of been a tale of two halves. The Colonials were up 11-6. Colonials were up 11-6 after the first half of play. YSU has held them to just 1 goal here in the second half. We'll take another look at some saves by Jamie Keller here today. Mentioned she has 9 saves. She's the reigning MAC goalkeeper of the year last season. She led the MAC in 2022 in save percentage, saves, and saves per game. 2:52 to go here in the fourth quarter, Jake. If you're Youngstown State, you got to put pressure on Robert Morris. And you got to put them in situations that they put you in the first half, where you're facing an aggressive defense.
Yeah, you have to start attacking on the defensive side, I should say. If you're Youngstown State, you almost have to start giving up those opportunities of maybe getting a high stick here and there or getting a foul called on you. I mean, whatever you can do to try to get rid or to try to make Robert Morris turn this ball over, you have to do, obviously, with 2:52 remaining and down a few shots here. So we'll see how YSU elects to play this out. But, you know, with Robert Morris, just on the opposite end of that, a team that is so used to playing deep into the shot clock. So this isn't really anything new or scary for Robert Morris to have to hold the ball.
Clock rolling again for Robert Morris coming out of the timeout. Up 12-9 with 2:42 to go here in the fourth quarter. You look back at that free position attempt for Allie Garrett, the last possession for YSU. If she would have scored there, it still would have been tough. But a 2-goal deficit is very manageable in 2.5 minutes, because you think you get a stop, you get a score, and you control the draw. But Robert Morris and Jamie Keller, who we just saw, she's done a great job today neutralizing YSU's scoring. 26 seconds remain on the shot clock for Robert Morris. With it is Anthony. G. Anthony will pass it off to Jenna Irwin. She gets that one forced out of the stick, but a foul will be called on YSU. And Robert Morris will have another free position attempt here with 1:57 to go in the fourth quarter. Driving in is Irwin. Her shot's wide. Robert Morris has really outshot YSU today. 32-19, but it's only a 3-goal difference. The Penguins will get it back with under 1:40 to go here in the fourth quarter. Cornell passes it up field to Tristan Chang. Loses it for a second. That'll be they'll stop the clock. They're going to say stick check on Robert Morris, so it'll stay with YSU. To the dismay of the Robert Morris faithful. With it is Molly Sheridan. She'll pass it off to Jordan Miller. And I think when you look back at it, YSU having to play basically this whole second half without their best attacker will come back to hurt them.
Yeah, and you have to realize that fact. But YSU really still did a good job so far with being down, like you said, the best attack for them.
Driving in is Korn. She'll shoot. She'll score. Allie Korn has had quite the day. Now her 5th goal to go along with 2 assists. Now she has 7 total points today. That's her 17th goal on the season. Her 5 goals today is a season high. Previous season high was 3, which she had the last time YSU was at home against Gardner-Webb. So it's not over just yet. 41 seconds remain. YSU's down 12-10. You got some work to do, and you got to do it quickly. It all starts with controlling a draw right here if you're YSU.
Which YSU really has struggled with all year against opponents trying to keep draw controls. They were leading draw controls throughout the end of the first half, beginning of the second half, and so far Robert Morris has been able to take advantage of the second half draw controls, leading 14-10 in favor of the Colonials.
Both head coaches out at midfield talking real quick. Now they'll head back to their respective benches. We're going to have a yellow card given to Abby Yesko for YSU. So back at midfield.
This is going to really hurt Youngstown State right here, not being able to get an opportunity on a draw control.
It will. So Robert Morris with possession. Shot clock turned off. YSU would need a force. They need a miracle at this point.
Yeah.
Under 25 seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
Sure are. And
now down to 15 seconds. Under 10 now. And a save by Cornell. She just took it right out of the stick of the attacker. And that will do it. Robert Morris, your winners here today by a score of 12-10. They'll move to 1-0 in Mid-American Conference play. Youngstown State will drop to 0-1. The Colonials will move to 3-6 on the season. YSU will drop to 2-8. It was a highly competitive game against two teams that we expect to be towards the top of the table at year's end. They'll meet in just 11 days. Wish we could be there for it. Yeah. That'll be at Robert Morris. Any final thoughts, Jake?
YSU did a couple good things, a couple bad things, and slowly making progress in every game that we've seen so far this season.
Definitely. And you're in with an interim head coach. You gave the league favorite a run for their money today.
And threw a redshirt freshman and a goalkeeper for the second half. So some good things for Youngstown State to build on and some really good things for Robert Morris to build on as well heading into the second half of the season.
So that'll do it here today from Youngstown State. Robert Morris, your winner, 12-10 over the Penguins. We'll be right back here next Saturday as YSU plays host to Eastern Michigan, the first ever meeting between those two schools. That'll be a 1 o'clock start here at Farmers National Bank Field.